He was young and sweet-natured and untarnished, and had yet to develop the coping skills for life's cruelties and disappointments. Neither had I, really, but I was built tough yet tender. It was my brand from birth. We both cried all night, and I was surprised by how hard it was on my heart, given that this was what I wanted. I did love him, and I was going to miss him. His sparkling green eyes, the way he would get ridiculously excited to introduce me to a new restaurant that he hoped I'd think was cool. How he playfully called me my loony Liss whenever I'd start to unravel without explanation. My loony Liss would always make me laugh and temporarily diffuse things. It was savage to hurt the nicest person in my life like this, but it was worse prolonging the pain. I wasn't coming home at night. Some of his friends had seen me out at clubs and off the rails. My life was full of moral ambiguity, but I couldn't bear to make a fool out of him. My new job as a reporter at Us Weekly and my new crowd that liked to party kept me fluttering around the city till the sun came up. The nightlife was all heat and sting, and it felt like exactly the place I wanted to be, doing exactly the things I wanted to be doing. It was like double dates and sake bombs with Cornell frat boys turned starter bankers, or drinking and smoking all night long with celebrities, supermodels, and rock stars. You tell me. Every other night, I was either messing around with Thomas, a womanizing photographer with Whiskey Dick, or Trevor, a feral musician with a trust fund. There was Jax, just out of jail, who took me on an erotic date to a car wash in Queens, and Paul from upstate who liked to go downstate. I was 25 years old, and it was safe and consensual sexual experimentation, which I found profoundly pleasurable. But I was engaged, and the fact that I wanted to be with everyone but my very square fiancé was an issue. Honest conversations about ethical non-monogamy and open relationships were not yet a thing for most mainstream couples, and if they had been, maybe we could have found an arrangement that was right for both of us. Though he was a traditional guy, and I semi-consciously did not want to be a wife, and those parameters were pretty well fixed and very much competing. The morning after I ended things, with our faces chafed from tears and our eyes stinging from sleep deprivation, my ethics suddenly kicked in, and I didn't think it was appropriate to be a last-minute no-show at the stupid wedding. We had to go together. By the time we arrived, everyone knew we were over. He had told his friends everything the night before, so that no one would wonder why we were being weird. At the pre-ceremony cocktail hour, a phrase I hope to never use again, everyone was gossiping about the breakup, which didn't really bother me, but it was unpleasant for him. The murmurs and whispers were practically echoing off the harpsichord. When I went to the bathroom, I overheard two girls who I'm sure were elliptical thin with epic memories from Montauk talking about me. From the stall, I could only see their perfect petties in ballet slipper pink. One of the girls was detailing how I once discussed pornography with her boyfriend, which she found to be grossly inappropriate. And the other one added that I was kind of a whore. It was painful to hear, but I told myself I deserved the social punishment. Everyone made it abundantly clear that I was the persona non grata, and though it was an intense hour of my life that left some nasty scar tissue, I ultimately respected their loyalty to my ex. These were the people who would get him back on his feet with fantasy baseball leagues and rosé all day, and hookups with cute interns from Merrill and assistant buyers at Bloomingdale's, and he needed them. I never belonged there anyway. I assumed, however, that I could get through this timelessly elegant wedding with poise. It was miserable and alienating, but that's what past champagne and deviled eggs were for, right? When I sat for the ceremony, the only people who wanted to sit next to me were relatives with names like Rhonda and Morty, and even they weren't so sure about me energetically. Kind of a whore clanged in my